Welcome to the 90-10 Rule, a podcast where we teach burnout and build freedom. So today's episode is very close to my heart because I am going to show you how you can break a generational curse, how you can build a life by design. And let me tell you, I have learned that most people don't even know that they have a generational. So I'm going to show you how you can learn if you have it or not in your own family, some of the symptoms that you might have experienced, and it's super easy to find out if you are or not. I'm going to show you how, and also how you can break away from it, because the one thing that is holding you back from your full potential, break away from all the limitations that have been transferred from one generation to the next. So let's talk about how you can learn if you have a generational curse in your own family. And it's funny because my husband, every time that we talk about it, he always brings to my attention, he's like, that sounds a little bit rough. But let me tell you, it is rough. It is rough when you are not living to your full potential. It is rough when you are working a 9 to 5 that you hate. It is rough when you are living paycheck to paycheck. That is rough. What is not rough is becoming aware on how you can break away from that, because you have everything right here, right now to do it. Everything. And let alone, you already know all the answers of all the questions that you have been asking to yourself for a very long time. You just need to get in tune with it. So first of all, let's talk about how you can know if you have a generational curse in your family. And the first thing, you have to start looking into your own childhood and into your own family. Let's start with your parents and the way they are living right now and the way they raised you. I want you to start thinking about those things because it is highly important for you to become aware. Because if your parents have been living the same way your grandparents did, most likely you learn from them and they're going to teach you the same way that has been running into your own family. They cannot teach you otherwise because they don't know. As Bob Proctor said, you cannot escape from jail if you don't know that you live in one. Once you become aware that your parents have been pre-programming you to live the very same way, and I can guarantee you that your grandparents live the same way as their parents, and so on and so forth. So this is a way of living that have been transferred from one generation to the next generation. And unless there's somebody in a family that is capable of handling the pressure in taking a committed decision in breaking away from that type of living, that is a person that is going to break the generational curse. Now, if you notice that pattern in your own family, then this is your call. This is your wake up call that you can be that one person that breaks from that generational curse. Do it for you. Do it for your own family. Do it for your kids. And if you don't have kids, do it for your future self. Trust me, you will not regret it. Now, when it comes to becoming aware, if you already saw the same symptoms, if you are becoming aware right now that you have been living the same way as your parents, and if you feel in your heart that you are that person that can change the future in your family lineage, then let me tell you, this episode is for you. I didn't know that that was in me when I started my entrepreneurial journey about 3 years ago, 3 years and a half ago. I didn't know that I was that person. And through my own spiritual awakening, little by little, I started learning that I am the one in my family that is breaking away from that limitations, from those beliefs that have been transferred to me from my parents. And my parents are living the very same way my grandparents did. I don't want that life because number one, it's not a way of living that you have chosen. That has been already pre programmed in your subconscious mind. And unless you take a committed decision to break away from that way of living, nothing will change. There is no secret recipe here. I want you to become aware. There's no magic wand, there's no magic potion, there's no secret that all rich people are holding in their hands that is why they are so successful type of thing. There's none of that. Only a committed decision is going to take you to break away from that generational curse, and it's going to give you the freedom that you have been looking for a very long time. Because if you are listening to this, it most likely is because you are trying to learn from other people that maybe you have been following, from people that are living the type of lives that you want, from people that already build a business, from people that know what they're doing. And if you are one of those, if you are searching for the answer, you will get it. But you have to make the committed decision first. If you are not committed, this is not going to take you anywhere. And I believe I have mentioned this many, many times in my podcast because it is crucial. This is where everything originates. This is where everything starts, from a single committed decision. If you're not committed, you're going to quit at some point. And it has to come from your core being, that wanting for doing more, for wanting more. And as women, we have been pre-programmed to not want more, just to settle for the things that we have. And don't get me wrong, being grateful for what you have is just going to give you more of the same. But settling for stuff, that's where you have to become aware when that is happening, and also become aware that you are the one in control. If you don't want to settle for less than what you want, and if you start getting deep down with yourself, getting in tune with your intuition, it's going to give you the key to where you need to be, what you need to do, and all the steps that you need to take in order for you to break away from this generational curse, in order for you to start breaking away from all the limitations that you have been um that you had from your parents and from your grandparents, from one generation to the next. And therefore, if you have kids, guess what? If you don't break away from this pattern, then you, my friend, are teaching your kids to live the very same way. If you are trying to break away from it, and if you don't do it, that means that you are leaving this task to your kids. And this led me to my own story when I started my journey, because as every parent, I used to tell my kids, especially my oldest one, she's about to turn 13 in this upcoming January. And I remember, like every parent out there, I used to tell my child, my daughter, go after your dreams. You can do anything that you want. But then when I look at my own story, when I look at my own life, that's when I realized I cannot be hypocritical with my own daughter, because I'm not living the life I want. I'm sitting right here, right now, in all this knowledge with all this potential, and I'm telling my daughter to go after her dreams when I'm not. There's no logic behind this. If you want your kids to go after their dreams, this is the time for you to show them how it's done. Again, if you don't have the courage to do it right now, then you are leaving this luggage to your kids. Yes. And this is a hard pill. I'm not going to lie to you. This is a hard pill to take. Once you realize that you don't want your kids to have the limitations that you had growing up, you don't want your kids to live the same way you are living right now, then this is your call. So the very first thing is, as I mentioned, you have to make the committed decision. But on the same token, you have to have a plan, because once you decide on how you want to live your life, then you have to look back and you have to start taking the steps backwards to make sure that you are following the right path. And what do I mean by that? Is it's almost like your future GPS. You have to have an address to your final destination if you want to make it. If you don't have an address, trust me, you will not make it. And then you are going to start finding ways on how to get there, which that's what I mean when I said walking backwards. You have to start getting clear with your goals. You need to know right now how you want to live your life. If you don't know, then this is where the beauty starts. If you want to make more money, just saying I want more money is not enough. You have to know how much money you need in order for you to live the way you want, and write it down. You have to write it down. Once you write it down, it's almost like putting your thoughts in order. And then once you are able to read them, it's almost like you're putting everything out there to the universe. You are putting your wishes. You know now what things need to get done in order for you to get from point A to point B, and just do it. And I'm not going to lie to you, the entrepreneurial journey is not for everybody. Anybody can do it. I have said this many, many times before, but it takes a very specific person to not give up when things get hard, because they will get hard. This is not a walk in the park. I have not met one single entrepreneur that is going to tell you, oh, yeah, everything was perfect, everything was easy, and, I'm just making money and everything went according to plan. Not one. And I can bet any money you want on this, because I know it. I have trained people, ladies, I have trained women over 30 years old on how to start their businesses from the ground up. And sometimes you think that things are going to go how you thought they were going to go. And once you start taking action, once you start taking the necessary steps in order for you to start building the life by design, one thing is going to lead you to another that was not written in your journal. And you also have to become aware that you have to be flexible and things will change. So you have to remain open minded in this journey, because if not, this is going to beat you down and it's going to create confusion. It's going to create confusion regardless, but you have to remain open minded and ask yourself, why is this happening to me? What lesson is behind it? Because every failure is going to take you closer to your goal. You have to walk your way to failure in order for you to become successful. Excuse me. There's no way around this. And failure is such a big word. And some people are so afraid to fail. But you don't learn anything from failing. You learn everything from failing. When everything goes according to plan, there's no there's learning, there's no lesson. For every single failure, you have to sit down and ask yourself, why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? And what is the lesson that I have to learn right here, right now, that is going to take me closer to my goal? And this is such a beautiful journey, because it's about self development and self awareness. And the more you get closer to your goals, the more of you is going to come out to the surface. And you're going to start peeling off all these different layers of you. And this is going to have a ripple effect on your loved ones, on your friends, family members, and they're going to start making steps towards their own goals, because you are leading the way without you telling them that they have to do it. But Leading the way is such a beautiful thing because you are not only creating a life by design, but you are changing lives along the way. People are going to start noticing the changes. People are going to start maybe asking you, what have you done that you now walk differently? Now you talk differently. Now you have different goals. Like people are going to start noticing these type of things. And maybe that was the one thing that they needed from a loved one, from a friend to see so they can start taking the same action. And it's such a beautiful thing because now you are leading the way and you are showing your kids, if you have kids, that it can be done. It can be done. And I want you to start, number one, commit yourself to your goals. Like that is where everything starts. Commit yourself because things will get hard. No matter what, they will get hard. If you're not committed, you're going to quit. Number two, you have to set clear goals. The more detailed you are, the better. Don't say, I want more money. Write it down on a piece of paper how much money you want to make per month that is going to sustain you, the life that you want. Start doing some research. Things will not happen just because. You have to take the decision to make it happen. You have to be clear where you're going. And then you have to commit yourself that you are going to make it happen no matter what. One of the things that I also learned in with my journey is that you also have to have an expiration date, a goal date, however you want to call it. In most occasions, you may not be able to achieve your goal by that time, but that date is going to give you urgency. Urgency is where the key is. View and don't set your goals in 5 years, 10 years from now. Don't do that. If it's a big goal, give yourself 12 months. Don't give yourself 5 years, 20 years, because it's not gonna happen. If it's a bigger goal, a year, year and a half, and start taking action and act every single step that you take. Do it with conviction, knowing that it's going to happen. You have to have faith in every single step that you take. This is how you break a generational curse. It's not easy. This is not meant to be easy for anybody. That is why only 1% of the population is able to pull this off. Only 1%. And most people quit when things start getting hard and they will say baby steps or little by little. And I am here to tell you that that is not the way to do it. You have to have urgency and you have to become aware when that mentality, that mindset is kicking in, because that is the one thing that is holding you back. You have to become aware. Now, once you commit yourself and get yourself clear on your goals, then action is the final step. Action. I have coached many women, that smart women, incredible women, that they start thinking about their goals. They start, they say that they're committed and they write it down. They do the research and this and that, and they create this beautiful, perfect world in their head where they think everything is going to go according to plan, and they create this, they create that. But if you do not get from your mind into action, if you don't get away from your mind and take the steps for you to get there, nothing will change. You must take action. You cannot tell me and show me this beautiful plan that you have created for you and your family, and it's written beautifully. You have all your goals, you have everything stated right there, you have numbers, you have plans, you have this, you have that, and then not take action. It is insane. And if you are not taking action, then you have to ask yourself why. Because in most cases, it's because you don't feel capable of making that happen. And if that's the case, then you have to start working with your mindset. That is why, and this is the core of my podcast, the 90-10 rule podcast, because 90% of what you do from this point on, if you want to break the generational curse, is mindset. You have to start your journey messy. It's going to be messy at the beginning because you are going to start paving the way to your goals, to your dreams. Is going to be messy. And you have to let go of perfectionism. Perfectionism is nothing but doubts and worries and fears. We don't want any of that because that is holding you back. So if you have already done some of the steps that I mentioned and you have everything written down on a piece of paper, but you have not done anything to make it happen, then I would suggest for you to start searching for help on how you can break away from that. I have developed so many free resources in my website that can help you to start shifting your mindset. All the information is going to be in the description in this episode so you can start doing your research, grab all the free information. And most importantly, I want you to start investing in yourself. You can never go wrong when you invest in yourself because the return of investment is always so much bigger and so much deeper than what you invested. And this is about your growth. Stop buying stuff. Like don't get the latest Chanel bag. Don't dream about the latest car. I want you to grow as a person. I want you to start the business that you have always dreamed of. And trust me, by the law of the universe, you will get rewarded based upon the level of work that you've done up until that point. If you want freedom, you have to sacrifice the material things. You don't need them right now. You need to work on yourself. If you want to break a generational curse, work on yourself, work on your mindset, start reading books, start reading for you, for your family, for your kids. Don't wait for the right time. There's never a right time. Ever. You're never fully ready. You can start planning right now in the perfect time. That's not going to happen. Start taking steps today. Do it messy, but do it now. And for some women, this is a hard pill to take because for a lot of us, we have been taught to depend on somebody else to make the decision for us. Don't do that. Start thinking for yourself and start investing in yourself. Do it for you. And trust me, your kids are watching. If you have kids, if you don't, your future self is going to thank you for it because you're going to start attracting the next level of you, better things, better friends, a better life. And then once you get to a certain point in your own journey, then guess what? The next upgrade is waiting for you. So there's never really a finish line in this journey. And this is such a beautiful thing because this is a never ending process of learning, growing, and expanding for you, for your family, and most importantly, for your future generations. I want to make sure that my kids have all the tools that they need for them to succeed in their own lives, to live at their fullest. I want that for them. And I want to break from this generational curse that have been holding me back for so many years. I'm 41 years old, and I wish I would have known all this information in my 20s. But on the same token, I was not ready to receive this type of information. So if you are a woman that is 30 plus, this is your call. This is your time. You do not need more information. You only need to start believing in yourself. Get in tune with your intuition. You are never wrong when you listen to your intuition, to yourself. You already have all the answers within you to make it happen. You just have to start taking the steps and you have to start taking action in order for you to get there. So if this information resonated with you, or if you feel that another woman is gonna get benefited from this type of information, Share it. Like, I made my mission when I started my journey to impact as many people as I can possibly can while I'm here creating my world. I want to empower you to go after your dreams because you can do it. And let me tell you something, you can have it all. You can have it all. Believe that you can. Start taking action. Share this information with your friends. Share this information with your mom, with whoever you feel that needs to hear this, because I want to create a ripple effect with this information, because women have been trapped in this jail for so long, for so many years, from so many generations. And if you are listening to this is your call to break away from it. I want your freedom. I want you to become financially freedom. I want you to start stepping away, to step up to the next version of you, because it is waiting. It is waiting for you to start taking the first step. Everything starts with you. I want to thank you for staying with me till the end. Share this information with as many women as possible. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.